Lucky Boys Podcast.
What's happening with the marches, the rallies, the protests? Is that engendering dialogue? Is that constructive dialogue between these different factions?
What I'm seeing, yes. There's a lot of education that's happening. People are learning about, the system and how it works. People are learning about, systemic racism, right? People are learning about how the Asians are learning about how the model minority myth is used to divide and suppress like other minorities, and we're all used in the system to divide and keep us down, because the reality is that all marginalized people, all marginalized communities combined are the majority. So we have to find ways to support each other and come together, because that's the only way we're going to be able to get real power and bring that power back to the people. They're like, you have people in the Black Panthers, Fred Hampton, he was bringing white people, brown people, black people together, and he was killed by the government. You have like Martin Luther King, right? After he fought for the civil rights, and civil equality, he found that the biggest injustice was in economic inequalities, right? So he was fighting for a guaranteed annual income for every American family,
Black, white, Asian,
everybody. For everyone, right? And the night before he was assassinated, he was like harping on this, that we need financial equality, financial opportunity equality, and that's what happened to like a lot of like the Black communities through redlining. It creates opportunity scarcity in many of these communities. And not just Black communities, there's Latino communities, where there's a lack of opportunities for certain groups and certain people, and the sins of America have just not been righted. They've not been addressed, and that's why we have all this uproar and rage and protest, because it's like 400 years of systemic oppression in different ways.
So you're saying that people that speak to unity and togetherness become a target?
Yes. If those who are at power benefit from the division, right, then you're gonna stop anyone or any force of unity.
That's crazy.
So but just the simple fact, just knowing, how do you control people? How do you hold authoritative power over people? You divide and conquer.
But look at folks like Andrew Yang.
Yeah.
He's very on that camp of unity. A lot of the things he said was parallel to Martin Luther King, even with the UBI. And you look at Obama, he was also all about unity. He brought a lot of people together like I've never seen in my lifetime prior to that. And they're both still out here.
Yeah.
So, why?
They effectively there was a media blackout, right? There's like...
Not for Obama.
Huh?
Not for Obama.
Yeah, but there are certain issues with Obama's presidency.
I hear.
We killed more innocent people under Obama's presidency than any other presidency. Through drone strikes and there are a lot of...
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. On the surface, for sure. It was great to have a Black president. It seemed like there are a lot of folks in the Black communities who felt like he didn't really do much for Black Americans. He had 8 years in office, and then the status of Black Americans in our country is pretty much the same as it was before.
Yeah, I heard the same thing about Obama as well, that he could have done more for the African American community during his term, 2 terms.
Yeah.
But then we think about like where he came from. Yeah. He's part of the political system. So he probably made deals that, he his hands were tied. He couldn't, you know, he couldn't.
And you also have a Senate, you know, Congress that you have to, you know, there's definitely a lot of progress that was probably blocked as well, you know.
Now, do you think Andrew Yang would have had the same challenges?
Yes and no, because, you know, again, it's hard to demonize like giving money to people, you know, to all people, you know, especially in a place where 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. You know, you're going to have the people like, why are you stopping, you know, going to their representatives? Why are you stopping the money coming to my pocket right now?
Yeah, it's so common sense. UBI, it's like to the
and that's
the
a problem
American.
with it. I think that's a problem with UBI.
The
What?
common sense aspect.
Exactly.
It's too common sense. Yeah, it makes too much sense.
Yeah, it's like everything needs to be politicized. Everything needs to be complicated, and it's like this weird. It's like growing up with a really harsh parent.
Yeah.
And go, well, if I do that for you, you're gonna expect it all the time, or you think it's gonna be this way. I kind of feel like America's doing that to us in some form or another.
Yeah.
But then like it's gonna be hypocritical and show some more leniency towards another group. Right. And for people,
that's
most
why
of
you
them,
give it to everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone gets it.
Yeah.
Even
But
like
that's the problem
Jeff
is-
Bezos gets it. You know, like everyone
but
gets
that's
it.
the problem is because it makes too much sense, and they're gonna go, well, we can't do that now.
Yeah.
You know, for whatever reason, it's that construct that we have. It something so simple that just makes so much damn sense on so many things, not just UBI.
Yeah.
We can't implement, and it's so straightforward.
Yeah.
It's really straightforward. And for whatever reason, whoever's in power, whoever are the decision makers, can't press their hand on the button and go, all right, yeah, that makes total sense. Let's do that.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many matrices of power and control throughout so many different systems,
Right.
you know, and it's the fight for like Black Lives Matter, right? It's the fight for equity, you know, and, you know, we have to be able to like, and with like all the protests, there are so many different political agendas that are thrown into it, you know, and people trying to overtake it, you know, for their own political gains.
When there are conspiracies saying that even United States enemies from overseas were coming over here instigating protests and looters.
Yeah.
There was some intrusion on their part.
I mean, I can
Certain countries.
I mean, I can understand that. I can see that.
There was an FBI investigation going on it as well.
You know, for sure. You know, but you know, America does the same. You know, America
Did destabilize economies and other
America
countries.
has destabilized, you know, other like countries and economies.
Yeah, I'm sure
and
they're-
have placed other people into power. You know, like it's
So we're all playing the same board game.
we are all
except America was really good at it. You know, for the past couple decades.
Yeah, America is like viewed by the world as imperialists. You know, we do it in the name of freedom and democracy. You know, and I think also, you know, what we need to address in our country is that, or just as a people, is that, you know, it's not, it's no longer like just tanks and airplanes and like human to human war. The biggest threats to our country is really cyber warfare. You know, and our technology infrastructures, our security is just so behind the curve. You know, our government is just about like 25 years behind. You know, so we're super, super vulnerable. Our electrical like grid system is super vulnerable. You know, they could send an EMP, you know, and just wipe out like, you know,
why wouldn't
power.
they invest on improving that if that's where our vulnerability lies?
Yeah, well, we got rid of the Office of Technology in 1995.
Right.
You
But
know,
if you just think about the art of war, right? You don't attack where they're strong, you attack where they're weak.
Yeah.
So
but the people in power are not concerned about the country. They're concerned about themselves and their friends.
okay.
Their
Their
interests,
their
their self-interest.
interest.
Oh, I
They're
see.
like, you know, so it all comes at the cost of Americans. And it's no wonder because, you know, do you know where the richest metropolitan area in our country is?
It's not New York. Is it Los Angeles or
What do you think?
I would assume. Wait, I think I heard
the richest
pop quiz. Hold
metro?
on.
Yeah.
Metropolitan.
Yeah. The wealthiest metropolitan area in our country is DC.
Okay.
Why? Why is it? What does DC produce? DC does not produce anything. It produces lobbyists and politicians. and the lobbyists and the politicians control the spigots of government money and government funding. You know, so like if all of our money like is, and that's the wealthiest area in our country, you know, this money that's for the people is not getting to the people. It's not getting to the communities. You know, the help and the services that are needed for the communities across the country are not getting there, you know?
But don't you, I mean, I get it, but you do have to grease the wheel.
Of course, you have to, yeah, make
Right?
things
I don't
run,
want to
you know?
pretend like we live in some fairyland. Like, you know, dirty things have to be done for your peace.
Yeah, but
for our peace.
yeah, but
Right?
you can do it cleanly. I mean, you can achieve the same things.
Like someone's
Cleanly.
got to get their hands dirty.
Yeah.
You do have to.
You have to get into the mud. You gotta get into the swamp.
You do have
gotta
to crack a few eggshells to make an omelet. You know,
And you mentioned that politics is a dirty business.